Hi, welcome to Tarot Off the Cuff. I am Kevin Quigley. Our next reader, Meg Miller, is a former forklift driver, chauffeur, and teacher who turned to the esoteric arts. She's always been deeply connected to the other side. She's an intuitive reader that loves to use the story contained within the cards.
Hi, my name is Meg Miller, and I'm with Tarot Off the Cuff. Nothing up my sleeve. Anyway, for today's reading, or Tarot Off the Cuff, I'm going to use the Revelations Tarot by Wong. And what is cool about this deck, here's the back. Of the deck itself, you have an upright position where you have the Eight of, just trying to get this with the glare, Eight of Wands. So you have figures here, and then in reverse, you also have other figures. So as far as a pictorial view, it's really quite helpful. So we're going to talk about creating space for your tarot practice. Nothing up my sleeve. Presto! And for today, we've got the Three of Swords. So it's good we have a little levity in all of this. So tarot practice. So I'm going to talk about the three areas of your practice. You've got your physical, your emotional, and your spiritual. We'll start with physical. It's the most tangible. So think about all of your tarot tools. What are your tarot tools? Well, of course, whatever scrumptious decks you have. I have several, and it keeps growing every year. But I also have other things that go along with my practice. So I've got candles and crystals and incense and cloth. I have a velvet cloth. I have also psychedelic cloth. Some people have, full tablecloths, things like that, and have grid boards and things like that. So really think about what are your tarot tools that are part of your tarot practice. There are some of you who may use oracle cards. I have several decks of those as well, and sometimes I use those because I'm looking for something more to explain sometimes a more complex philosophy or concept, that just trying to get down into more practical explanation, things like that. But do you have honor for that? Do you have a tarot toolbox? I have a tarot little cloth bag that I have in the trunk of my car that I take with me on Tarot on the Go. I also have a nice round cylindrical type case that I got from a friend of mine that I use that for small ceremonial candles and a little bell and just all my little tools of the trade that I've picked up along the way. Some from flea markets, some from antique shops, some from friends, and some are just things I've collected along the way. Who knows where I got those. But it's really also taking care of all of that and making sure I know where things are when I need to use them instead of scrambling around at the last minute. So it's really looking at how focused are you on, again, your tarot tools, and do you take good care of them and really honor how they serve you and then how you use them to serve others. So with the just going back to the Three of Swords, again, it's that third part, but it's also being very decisive and being very respectful so that you aren't falling in the abyss of you don't know where everything is and you sabotage yourself. It's easy, sometimes easy to do that, especially if we feel uncertain about what our next steps are and so on. Now I'm going to go into the emotional part of tarot. And the emotional part of tarot is really, I'm going to focus on who you spend time with in talking about your tarot practice and what you share. And I look back at my younger years and I think about telling people because I was looking for external approval. And of course, I looked for those people who I knew would tell me I was, Satan's spawn, I was evil, and I was into all that, you know, hodgepodge, hokey pokey business. And of course, I thought if I got there okay, then I would be emotionally grounded in following what my heart is calling me to do. And of course, I found over the years that I've used that against me, in the sense that I listened to what they had to say and I pulled back. And that only harmed me, and then it didn't give me opportunities to practice and do more readings and things like that. So I would say, I don't want to look back and say, well, that was just terrible. I would really like to be kind and gracious and compassionate with my younger self. But there's a maturity element with all of that too. And so it's maturing into the emotional practice of your tarot. So again, it's really what kind of venues are you finding that feed your soul, nourish your soul, again, that heighten and deepen not only the breadth of your tarot practice, but the depth of your tarot practice. And so it's really, again, looking at too, what decks are matching who you are today. So my first deck was Medicine Woman deck, and I have not used that in a reading for a long time. It doesn't call to me right now. So being emotionally in tune with my tarot reading, and again, looking at the 3 points of the sword and so on, it's being decisive in the sense of knowing what you want and what works for you. Because when you have your emotional element of your tarot practice in alignment, again, you are going to give a more precise and meaningful reading to your client. And really, that's what we want. That's what we're called to do. If we were just reading for ourselves all of the time, you know, we would have a different view with that. But I'm talking to those of you who are, you know, wanting to explore more, go deeper. And the other aspect I really want to talk about in your emotional practice is what types of reading calls to you. I am not one who's going to do find your twin flame. I just am not wired that way, so I say that out front when I go to a party and so on. I'm just not going to be your best person for that. But if you want to find out what is your spirit journey, what is it that you need to do, what are those shadows that you need to face and so on, I will help you with that. And I will also use my emotional connection with my tarot and offer a reading to you that empowers you to do that next step, especially if it seems scary or uncertain, or there's a lot of mystery around it, in the sense that you're not sure what to do, but I can at least help you get to what those next steps could be and people to reach out to and so on. The next element then, the third element I want to talk about is your spiritual practice. So my spiritual practice with tarot, you know, has evolved from, you know, pull a card a day, which is great for a quick one-time read and so on. I got a wonderful year-long reading set up this year that really takes a deck of mine that I take for the entire year, and I'm looking at a card a week, along with months and using the Kabbalah and so on. And got the reading, well, I should say Shadows in Tarot. I'm not saying this right, but it is Sam Lofgren's Companion in Shadow. Anyway, she offers great meetups where you learn new spreads and so on, and that helps me deepen my spiritual practice as a tarot reader and within myself. To me, I look at tarot as a tool to get deeper into who I am. And when I get to know myself more and face my own shadows, I'm a more credible reader when I am coaxing out an uncertainty in one of my clients and showing them that not all is lost. Again, we could look at the Three of Swords as, oh my gosh, we're doomed. And there is that element, again, of being aware, being decisive, being focused on what works for you, and not waffling in external feedback of what you're doing, is that okay or not? there can be okay external feedback when it has to do with your core tarot community. And then again, you're going to ask for specific information, specific feedback that's going to help guide you through the next element of your spiritual development as a tarot reader. But I really take the time, and I do look in the books and see what the author, I mean, you have the author, sometimes the illustrator, sometimes they're the same person, sometimes they're not. But really understand where they're coming from, what caused them, what called to them to create this exquisite delight of card and book. And that I get to use these tools to help someone tell a story and to find out some things that they can't see at the time. And what can I do from that? And also, where I'm at spiritually is going to determine what deck I'm going to choose, let's say for the evening, for the party, for the querent, you know, all those types of things. But it's really important, again, that I'm looking at all of those three elements. So again, we've got the physical, the emotional, and spiritual. And all of those elements really deepen and broaden my development as a tarot reader and really as a light worker. I think that tarot readers, you know, we can do it for fun, but we also do it because we're bringing in the light. We're asking others to step into the light more and more. And that's what I love about, and that's what I got out of the Three of Swords. You know, again, decisiveness, decisiveness. So anyway, look at how you create space for your tarot. And again, I am Meg Miller with Tarot Off the Cuff. There you have it. So have a wonderful time rebuilding and rejoining your tarot space.
Hi, thanks for watching. This is Kevin Quigley with Tarot Off the Cuff. If you can take a second, click the subscribe button down below. That'll let you know when a new video is posted and you might want to jump over and watch it. If you hit the thumbs up for the videos that you really like, that will help spread the word so new people will find Tarot Off the Cuff in their feed, and that helps the channel grow. That would be great. And if you got a question or a comment, positive or negative, whether you agree or disagree, or if you want to add information or your own take on a particular card or a particular topic, put a comment down below. We would love to hear from you. Thanks so much.